Welcome to Real Takes.
And Movie Breaks.
I'm Kimberly.
I'm Michael.
And today we are reviewing the film
Captain America:
A Brave New World. Please subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell so you never miss a review. This will be our spoiler review, so if you don't want spoilers, click the link in the description below where we will give our review without revealing too much. But this is our more in-depth spoiler review where we will talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and if we would recommend paying to see it. We'll kind of analyze the film on a deeper level. For those of you who might not know, we are both filmmakers. So whenever we look at a film, I think it's really important to examine what worked, what didn't work, and why. Because that's what helps us become better storytellers as filmmakers. So we'll start with what we liked.
And I feel the same way. It was put together in a way that was cohesive, and the action sequences are well done. There's good post CGI. I think what it is that I have to adjust my brain when I'm watching one of these movies. I have to adjust for I'm watching a cartoon, and if I just accept this is a cartoon, and but it's also live action, but it is a cartoon, then it's easier for me to kind of just accept it. Mm-hmm. That being said, I still want there to be good storytelling mechanics and good sort of flow and things that happen. So like, there's good things are conceived well and put together. I like the ending. I like the whole Red Hulk reveal thing. I think that's fun. I like the way that whole fight sequence is done. I think it's done in a very Dragon Ball Z kind of way, you know. But that's like basically the end of my enjoyment.
I see. I like that the ending was happy, and I like the cherry blossoms.
What do you not like?
I didn't like the writing. The first hour was so much exposition, and the dialogue felt totally unnatural, unbelievable, and then the way that the actors were delivering the exposition felt unnatural, unrealistic. So I didn't like the writing. It was cheesy, corny, very predictable. Yeah. And I didn't really like the casting choices. I feel like Captain America was miscast. With
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie. I feel like he could be a great actor playing a different role. I just didn't believe that he was Captain America. He didn't have the charisma. It might have just been the writing. It might not be his fault, because there's only so much an actor can do with really lame writing that feels like ChatGPT wrote it. So there were some moments where he was emotionally connected. I wish I could have seen more of that emotional connection. There was one scene in particular which I thought could have been touching and moving and helped us care about the characters, and it was the scene when Anthony Mackie and the guy that played Bucky showed up, and he was watching his friend in the hospital, and then Bucky gives him his pep talk, his inspirational speech, and he says, well, you know, the other Captain America inspired people to in one way, but you inspire people in a different way. People can aspire to be you because you're more human and you didn't need to take the super serum or whatever. And so I feel like if they could actually really connect in that scene and play it real, we would have been moved, but they immediately undercut it and undermine it by laughing it off and making a joke. So even in the moments that could have been moving and touching, it just, I don't know, maybe the direction was part of it, but I know there was like another moment where Harrison Ford, who plays the president, Ross, he's finally like breaking down and revealing his shameful past, his reason why. Oh, because my heart was failing. And then, you know, you see that he's being emotional, but It was just so cheesy. So
no matter what you're as an actor, Harrison Ford's done a million movies.
Yeah,
and he was the number one star for a long time back in the 90s, and even with all of that, it's hard to overcome tough, like hard written scenes that just, what do I do with that line? What do I do with that bit of dialogue? And then the tone of these movies. How do you sort of hit the right tone? If you notice though, like at the end when Liv Tyler comes in for her 3 seconds, if you notice like the way Harrison Ford looks at her when they do a little coverage on him and you see him kind of look at her, it's like, oh, that's his daughter. He has that ability to pull back and do the, I'm looking at my daughter I haven't seen in a long time. Even though he's the president.
Yeah.
The president is estranged from his daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, so like things like that, I'm like, everything just in my head, I'm like, what? So I think that the main guy, Anthony Mackie, so I think the problem is like, and I'm not sure it would even matter if you had a better cast Captain America, because it's all it's so exposition driven.
Yeah.
It's not character relationship driven building. One thing I noticed about Harrison Ford as I'm watching the film, it's like Harrison Ford, the actor, instinctively is looking for these moments where he can kind of do non-expositional things, where it's character things where we establish who he is, because he knows to do that. It's like he just on pure instinct knows to do that in these scenes. You can see him doing it, but everyone else is sort of like, oh, let's just do the selfie. That's good. Yeah, that's not enough. The selfie and hey, I'm going to take you to the gym. Let's go to the gym. That's not enough. That's not enough to get me in. Like, oh my God, he shot the president, but he doesn't know why he shot him. I don't want to go back to prison. That whole thing. That doesn't get me. That just kind of gets me going like, okay. Well, I guess there's a problem to solve, but it doesn't make me into, like, this is where someone like Tarantino is a great writer. It's like a ride. It's like going on a ride in an amusement park. That's how I feel about it. It's like, okay, this ride didn't have very many people in line, and we got on the ride. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was entertained. There were many moments in the movie where I was like entertained. Yeah. I wasn't thinking of other things while watching the movie. So it kept me interested enough to watch the whole thing and not walk out of the theater. But good actors can only do so much with really cheesy dialogue and really lame dialogue. Yeah. Harrison Ford was probably the most interesting actor to watch. I would say I don't even know, though, if he was the right person to cast for this for various reasons. And the two female characters received no character development. I mean, we don't know anything about them. The trailer was misleading. There are funeral scenes in the trailer that were never seen in the movie. And I do know that they chose to do a bunch of different reshoots, which is kind of interesting. So that tells you something about the movie when they had to do a bunch of reshoots. But overall, I felt like the pacing was slow. The fight scenes were kind of underwhelming. The CGI was not that impressive. The costuming, like the villain wasn't scary to me at all.
Yeah. Like
Willem Dafoe, when he played the villain in Spider-Man, for instance, amazing. There's so many great villains that this villain, I was like, we're supposed to be scared of this goofy goober, and his makeup and everything. I understand it is somewhat true to the comic, and I can respect that, but I appreciate the stuff that is true to the comic. I think that's cool. I actually did laugh at moments, but not because
me too. I did.
But not because I don't think those moments were intended to be comical. I was just laughing at how silly some of the scenes were, like that scene where we see Liv Tyler at the end, and she literally says 3 words.
Three lines.
3 lines, I mean. 3 lines.
face, it's so there's like they put a little glow on her.
Yeah, they made her that scene looked weird.
She sort
it
of
was
like,
very off-putting. They put a filter on her face or something.
Yeah.
It looked strange. It looked weird.
She looks like she's coming in from heaven.
Yeah, and I feel like, speaking of looking weird, I feel like because Harrison Ford has probably had too many face fillers and a little too much Botox, it takes away from believing that he's a real human being. I wish actors would just age naturally, and then they don't lose their expression. Like Tom Cruise is another example. When I was watching the new Top Gun, I was like, his face looks plastic, his expressions look plastic. The emotion he's trying to convey, you can't see it because he can't move his face normally, naturally.
The new Top Gun is a million times better than this.
But just as an example, I feel like watching Harrison Ford now, it's a little kind of hard to, because he doesn't look totally natural and totally real.
Anyone know what's the best Harrison Ford as the president movie?
No.
Air Force One.
Oh, okay.
A million times better than this movie. Oh my God. So much better than this. And he plays the president.
Yeah.
2.5 out of 5 for me.
Yes, I would give it a 2.5 out of 5 as well, just because there were some moments that were entertaining. And I think if you are a diehard comic book fan, and if you love this universe, if you've seen the other Captain Americas leading up to this, you will probably be entertained. It might be worth paying money to see it in a theater. However, if you're more like us and you find the Marvel franchise somewhat entertaining, you probably want to save your money and maybe wait till you can see it in a different way.
Right. And I know a lot of you guys like these movies, and I'm just kind of bringing my perspective to it because I don't watch them as much, but I love movies, and I want every movie I see to work. I want it to be good. And so I'm kind of coming at it from that perspective now. I do kind of understand the machinations of Marvel films and how they have to kind of exist and operate, and there's a lore and there's all this stuff. So I'm willing to continue reviewing these. If you guys want us to keep doing these types of films, absolutely, we can keep watching them and reviewing them on this channel. So give us a like, please subscribe to our channel, give us a comment, and let us know what you think about our review. Mm-hmm. And yeah, let us know if you watched the film, what you liked, what you didn't like, and if you did watch the film, maybe our review helped you process it. I have a lot of respect for independent filmmakers who don't have a lot of money. When I'm looking at those movies and reviewing them, I am not as harsh of a critic. But when it comes to a movie with millions of dollars, I just have higher expectations. So I'm naturally going to be more critical of a Marvel film because they have the budget. So if you have that big budget, it just feels like a waste when it doesn't deliver. It doesn't, deliver in the way it could have. So, and there's a lot of reviewers out there that will always say good things about every movie. But a friend to everyone is a friend to no one, and I think it is important to be real. And so this is our real take. I think it's healthy, constructive criticism helps us grow and become better storytellers as filmmakers. So this is our real take. Hope you enjoyed it. And in the meantime, you stay real. And you have good takes.